What's the progress you've seen maybe in the last, 3-4 days since you got back here? That has been encouraging.
He's just been working on the floor. I haven't seen anything like that made me go like, oh, it wasn't up to me. It was a player getting to a place where he can play without re-injury or where he feels good, and medical team is on board with it. And we've had these situations this year where guys have gotten re-injured, like I said, and we're just trying to be as careful as we can to prevent that. Now, some of it is just basketball, but I think everybody's just trying to do their part. And so I didn't see anything. I just saw him working his tail off to get back on the floor.
Just I haven't asked you about Devin in a while as far as when he'll be evaluated.
Mm-hmm.
Today, Wednesday, you have an exact date on when he'll be.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. I just don't. He's just, we got a lot of boxes to check before he can even approach that. He's had like non-contact practices, but that's not the same as, getting beat up a little bit and playing in 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5, and, playing in 3-minute spurts, which is, on average what you do in a game before there's a whistle, between 2.5, 3 minutes. That's where you build your conditioning endurance, to get back on the floor and play the way we play. So he hasn't done that yet. So we can't even, think about when he's going to get back on the floor. He's just, he's ready, but you just have to be careful.
And then with Payne, as far as him, I just had from the availability that we do see, I haven't seen him shot.
Yeah, it's just nothing to even report. We talk about the game tonight, man. It's like medical journal in here, man.
Speaking of the game, it was real tight down at the end. They got away from you really. What we done different to have a closer game? Because neither one of these games been tied by less than 15 points.
Well, obviously the Ja hitting the shots in the first half gave them a lot of confidence. I think it was a 3-point game at halftime, and then the third quarter they just, it was an onslaught. We couldn't score, and they scored. That was, if we could have gone back and forth, maybe it would have been a different game. Who knows? But they played better. You have to, give them credit. I'm not one to make a ton of excuses about stuff like that. They defended well. They took us out of a lot of our offensive sets, and it actually made us better. We've been working on some things that not just for Memphis, but for us as a program to, be a better team. And that's what good teams do. They stress you out and make you explore areas where you can get better.
A lot of bodies in and out of the lineup due to all these different injuries. What do you think? What growth have you seen the most from the bench? What have you liked from the progression standpoint of your bench over maybe the last month or so?
Well, we haven't had a consistent bench to even make that evaluation. We've had so many guys in and out of both the starters and the bench group. I think if there was anything to point at as far as improvement, it's just been the ability to adapt. Some guys have been bench players and they've had to start, and then they've gone back to the bench. That kind of thing can throw your rhythm off. Our guys have kept a great spirit about them. And they've just been ready for whatever. Saban comes in and he's, a 10-day guy. And if Chris hadn't played tonight, we were going to start him, and he would have gone out there and played his butt off. I think the ability to adapt has been something that has helped us in the past week or so, and for sure helped us, win a couple of games. You see Ish out there adapting to being out there in closing moments. That's something that he hasn't done his whole NBA career. And so I would say just the ability to adapt to whatever situation has been thrown at them has helped us.
Monty, with Jaren Jackson Jr., I know this is the last couple times you played the Grizzlies, kind of went bigger, in that matchup against him. Just what specifically have you seen from him I went to the Memphis Commercial Appeal. In Memphis, for the past couple of years, a lot of the conversation about Jared was they wanted to see him be more forceful and be more demanding, inside of the 3-point line. And I just noticed you did that matchup more. So what have you noticed that allowed you to shift that?
I mean, he's a talented big. He's one of the few guys that can step out and shoot it from 3, but also post up and use both hands. He can put it down. So it forces you to adjust accordingly based on his skill set. We view him as a physical player. I don't know what other people are talking about. He's a really good player. I think he had 6 blocks last time we played you guys. So he's an adjustment nightmare for a lot of coaches. And, we haven't figured out anything in reference to him. We try to be physical with him. We try to move him around a little bit, but that's how we play anyway. He's just a really good player, and we respect him.
Monty, you've been feeling better about the competitive spirit, of course, for a couple of weeks. And for last night, it was probably a good illustration of that optimism. Looking back, do you think of anything that felt like a little bit of a switch flip or an inflection point with that? I know the Warriors game is probably one that comes to mind, but I don't know if there's anything else.
I mean, nothing that I can remember right off the top. I think it's a progression of attitude change, awareness of how you're playing, awareness of how teams are playing you. You progressively adjust to that. I don't think it's one thing. I think it's like a buildup of understanding how we have to play and understanding that the margins are slim when you have a ton of guys out. And so it forces you to play with a great deal of force, because sometimes that can cover up a scheme and sometimes cover up a little bit of the talent gap. And so I wouldn't say it was like one thing, one film session, one thing that was said. It's just been this progression of understanding how we have to play with the guys we've had out, with the hopes that when we do get everybody back whole, we're playing at that level. And then you add the talent, maybe that can snowball into something good for your team.
Sorry, Mike, I had one more for the game side. Well, camp gone 7 minutes restriction. Is it the same number, a little bit more?
We'll see.
Coach, when you look at beyond ball and this party, now it's forceful this, but then it's still a pressure on the web and this stuff. How do guys that like him are able to do that when there's stretches where he doesn't play?
Yeah.
All of a sudden he gets thrown there. He goes back to like he's been playing the whole season.
I think it's the adapting thing that everybody's been able to do so well. Question was asked about the bench. Like, that's what the guys have been able to do, is adapt to different situations. Biz is going to play the same way, whether he's starting or coming off the bench. If it's 3 minutes in Golden State or 15 minutes in wherever at home, like, he's going to play the same way. I mean, he's going after every shot, every rebound. He's physical. And that's how he works. I mean, if you watch him in the morning, we're in meetings and he's one of the first guys on the floor every day to get his work in, preparing his body, all of that, so that he can play that way. And I think guys who are in that role understand that for them to be effective in the league, they have to play that way all the time. They don't have that room to, pace themselves.
Coach, you have a stretch like you've had with so many guys out of the lineup, and now you're starting to get Chris back, Cam back. How do you go about kind of reintegrating important pieces without putting too much on their plate?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I've thought about. Don't have a great answer for it or a solution to it. I'm just trying to figure it out as we go. We're all competitive, and in the heat of the battle, you're trying to kill a mosquito with an axe, man. You're just trying to get after it, but I have to be careful at times. When I think about what we're trying to do as far as bringing guys back and not putting too much on their plate. You talked about minute restrictions. Like, we have minute restrictions on guys. Some guys come back with full participation. Some guys have minute restrictions, and all that is like in my head, along with 2-for-1s and timeouts and all that other stuff. And it's just like, holy smokes, man. But that's what I get paid to do. So I have to really balance it and make sure I'm doing the right thing for the team and for the player.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you.
This is Pat brought it back.